Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Newsroom. I'm your host, Omar Khalid. But today is the end of the week, but lots of things to discuss with you, share with you, and of course inform you about. So without further ado, let's tell you what we're going to discuss during the course of the show. We will begin with the relationship between Azerbaijan and Pakistan in the whole context of the visit of our Prime Minister, Shahbaz Shareef Sahab, to Azerbaijan. A lot of important MOUs, a lot of important agreements were discussed during the course of this visit. Also, what has been finalized is that one cargo ship that is full of LPG or LNG will be coming every month to Pakistan, and this is going to address Pakistan's energy woes. Not only that, there have been agreements between SUKOR and the PSO, both the main state petroleum agencies of Azerbaijan and Pakistan, that will further cement ties between the two countries, and other MOUs have also been signed and agreements made as far as different sectors, whether it be energy, trade, aviation, agriculture, transport or defense are concerned. This is further strengthening the ties between the two countries. Then, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir and how the BJP and the Narendra Modi government is not only denying the people of the Indian held valley their due rights, but is also not giving them their rights to habitate, to live in the areas that they want to. India, with its expansionist designs, not only is denying Muslims their right to self-determination in the Indian held valley, but also is seizing properties of Hurriyat activists in the Indian held valley. This is something that was highlighted by our Foreign Office spokesperson as well, as to why India is confiscating properties that belong to the Kashmiris. And this is again another step towards human rights abuses and denying basic human rights to people in illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. This is going to be our second story. And then we are going to talk about a Pakistani officer, Zahir Ahmed, who has won a prestigious award in recognition of his tireless efforts to curb human trafficking. Zahir Ahmed is currently serving as the Deputy Inspector General in Pakistan's police service, and he was awarded for his diligent work, his professionalism by the United States of America. And of course, this is a huge award for Pakistan and a moment of pride for us Pakistanis. This is going to be our last story. Let's begin today's show, but let's begin today's show with the cyclone Biparjoy. Now, the Pakistan Met Department has confirmed that the sea storm has lost its strength significantly. It did not hit Pakistan the way we thought it might, and thank the Almighty for that. It has now changed into a severe cyclone storm from a cyclone storm category 3, and what is being said is that it's going to weaken into a depression by this evening. So the cyclone, the whole strength of that cyclone is going to weaken into a depression by the end of this evening. The very severe cyclonic storm Biparjoy over the northeast Arabian Sea after crossing the Indian Gujarat coast has weakened into a severe cyclonic storm, quote unquote, by the Pakistan Met Department. The Sindh's coastal residents are also returning to their homes, because as you very well know, tens of thousands had been evacuated from their places and had been moved to safe shelters and to safe areas and tents, so as to save them from any eventuality, and that eventuality, thank God, did not happen, and now they are going back to their areas where they lived and continuing their normal routine work as always. But as far as India is concerned, at least 2 people have died in Gujarat after being swept away by the flood waters. Our Minister for Climate Change, Musaib, who's been monumental as far as her efforts towards climate change are concerned, and she was there tweeting, also telling us about the category of the storm and how the storm was developing. She has also said that the cyclone has completed landfall in India's Gujarat. She said, quote unquote, Pakistan was prepared but largely spared the full force, since coastal areas like Sajawal were inundated by the high sea levels, but most people had been evacuated to safe ground. So we have, of course, come out of a very strong or very dangerous situation that we could have been engulfed in, but of course we are now safe from that. Cyclone Biparjoy is long gone. Let's come to our first major story now, and that concerns the relationship between Pakistan and Azerbaijan. Our Prime Minister is back from the official visit, but a lot of important MOUs and agreements have been signed, particularly in the energy field. More in the following report.
Azerbaijan and Pakistan are bound by their relations of strong friendship, brotherhood, and strategic partnership based on historical and cultural roots. Prime Minister Shahbaz Shareef visited Azerbaijan for a 2-day official visit with an aim to boost bilateral ties in energy, banking, financial services, and information technology sectors. Pakistan and Azerbaijan have agreed to enhance their bilateral trade and promote cooperation in different areas, including energy and defense. Reflecting great achievement in energy sector, Azerbaijan agreed to provide liquefied natural gas to Pakistan at discounted price from next month. It was also decided that Baku will help Islamabad in the fields of oil and gas, aside from investing in Pakistan's solar energy industry. Azerbaijan's state-run Azerbaijan Airline will operate 2 weekly flights to and from Pakistan. The two countries also signed various memorandums of understanding for the promotion of trade and business, apart from preparing a list of preferential trade items. Diplomatic relations between Pakistan and Azerbaijan were established in 1992, and two countries have increased trade and security cooperation in recent years. Relations between the two countries are deepening, in developing, and strengthening every year, and the two countries have always supported each other both bilaterally and within international organizations.
Former Ambassador Aizaz Chaudhary joins us online to discuss the gamut of relations between Azerbaijan and Pakistan. Thank you very much, sir, to have joined us. When you look at the whole arena of diplomatic relations between both our countries, Pakistan being the second country in the world to have recognized Azerbaijan after its independence, how do you see that relationship strengthening, developing since then, since 1992, and now we're in 2023, and this visit in the whole context also of the visit of Mr. Mia Shahbaz Shareef?
Well, Azerbaijan has been a good friend of Pakistan, and Pakistan has extended maximum support to Azerbaijan on its core issues, particularly when it had its conflict with Armenia on Nagorno-Karabakh. We saw that Pakistan stood by with Azerbaijan throughout, and we don't have even normal relations with Armenia. I think the Azerbaijanis appreciate the stance that Pakistan took while its territory in Nagorno-Karabakh was under the occupation of Armenia. So I think now you can see very clearly that Azerbaijan wants to maintain the cordiality that Pakistan has had with it, and is now supplying us LNG, which of course we need along with oil that we are getting from Russia and other sources, our traditional sources in the Gulf. So my sense is that these are two very positive developments that have taken place recently, mainly the oil from Russia and the LNG from Azerbaijan. I think this is like going out of box and finding new sources and new solutions to our energy crisis.
How important are these out-of-the-box, solutions that Pakistan has gone for, whether it be with Azerbaijan specifically? I'd like to refer to Azerbaijan. We also know that we have strong relations in the defense sector, in other sectors with Azerbaijan since quite some time. Do you feel that Azerbaijan understands Pakistan's perspective? And you talked about our perspective on Armenia, but also we should point out how Azerbaijan has also always sided by Pakistan when it comes to the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir issue.
Absolutely. In fact, we have had a Jammu and Kashmir contact point in the OIC since 1994. And Azerbaijan was the latest entry to that contact group. And they came and extended unequivocal support to the people of Kashmir for their right to self-determination. And they have never minced their words on it. Yes, it has been a relationship of mutual benefit and mutual respect for each other's core issues of interest.
All right. When you talk of a relationship of mutual understanding and mutual respect, how can both the countries benefit to a maximum from it? From a Pakistani perspective, I understand we've got energy wars. We've seen how the LNG and the LPG are going to be, provided by Azerbaijan by one cargo ship every month. There's also an agreement between Sokur and the Pakistan State Oil, both the energy agencies of Azerbaijan and Pakistan. How can Pakistan benefit from this strong relationship by also strengthening itself economically and in other spheres?
Well, you just stole the words from my mouth, because that is exactly what I would have also suggested. That while it is good to expect help and assistance from friends, what is more important is that we put our economic house in order. It is not a fair comment to expect Pakistan to rely on continued assistance from abroad without curtailing its own expenditure. We cannot survive and sustain like this. And even if very close friends, when they become donors, they would like to see that their grants, their money, their assistance is put to a good use so that they can get their returns and we can also benefit from that. It is not a bottomless pit which people would like to throw in money. So yes, absolutely right. I think much of the work is to be done at home. There are several good ideas people have floated. There are good economists. I think the best idea that I like is self-reliance. I think we should develop self-reliance. Whatever we can manufacture in Pakistan, we need not get it from abroad. And second, we should change our attitude towards industry. Industry brings jobs, which they are not bloodsuckers. And I think we need to look at the industry so that whoever sets up the industry within Pakistan or from outside will create more jobs. So and thirdly, our bureaucracy, and I was also a part of that bureaucracy once upon a time, needs to change its attitude towards business facilitation. They need to because it's an existential threat to Pakistan. We need to all pool in our help and assistance so that a congenial business environment is created in Pakistan, so that our own domestic investors start investing, and then you will see other investors also start flowing in. So yes, I fully agree that while we have some support coming in from countries like Azerbaijan and others, it is far more important that we put our own economic house in order.
All right, speaking of putting our own house in order, let's talk about Pakistan's infrastructure or Pakistan's horticulture, Pakistan's tourism, Pakistan's waste management. Azerbaijan is a wonderful example as far as all these four are concerned, and it has shown to the world that it is a leader as far as how to take care of waste management, how to take care of proper infrastructure, how to take care of horticulture, and how to properly invest in tourism so as to bring in more revenue. Can Pakistan take the example of Azerbaijan and learn from it in your point of view?
I fully agree with you. I started visiting Azerbaijan and other Central Asian republics right after their independence in 1991. Late 1991 they got independent, but I started visiting them in 1992. They were not in a good shape. But 30 years down the line, when you visit them, you are astonished. I am astonished because I had seen them in that place. And tourism is one source which Pakistan has not tapped enough. I just came back from Austria, where my son lives, to spend some time with my family. And we went to Western Austria. Magnificent facilities were provided. Tourists need facilities, and you will see how much tourists can Pakistan attract. We have immense sources. Look at the mountain tourism that we can exploit. Look at the heritage tourism, the archaeological tourism, the faith-based tourism. Sky is the limit. We have so much to exploit, but you need to create facilities, and you need to make a welcoming environment for the tourists. And you will see that Pakistan is actually endowed with much more and much better natural resources than any other state as far as tourism is concerned.
All right. Finally, Aizaz Chaudhary Saab, you talk of the environment. Let's talk of the regional geopolitical, geostrategic environment as well. How important is an understanding between Central Asian countries such as Azerbaijan and Pakistan on the regional perspective, on regional challenges, and how can both these countries work together in order to thwart the attempts by all enemies to destabilize the region?
I think there is a lot of potential in the domain of connectivity with the Central Asia. You see, Pakistan is uniquely placed to become a hub that connects Central and West Asia with South Asia. That means that you need one, a peaceful Afghanistan, and second, an east-west connectivity to complement north-south connectivity. So if you exploit the location, the geography, the economic geography of Pakistan, you would see that there'll be enormous opportunities for us. And unfortunately, the biggest hurdle to this is Afghanistan, because it has not stabilized yet, although attempts are being made now to bring in TAPI, to reactivate TAPI, the Turkmenistan gas, perhaps at some point Kasa, to bring electricity from Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. But all this depends on Afghanistan. But luckily, we have a route through China to Central Asian republics. And I think now efforts are being made that Karakoram Highway should remain open throughout the year. And through them, we can go to Central Asia. But my sense is connectivity is vastly under exploited at this stage. And we need to really work on it. And all these Central Asian republics would love to trade through Pakistani ports. Gwadar port is almost ready, but we need to really create better infrastructure there. I was there 2 months ago, and I think we need to work much harder there to create better infrastructure. So, I mean, all the ingredients for a high-level growth for Pakistan are there. Just need to put it in a concerted effort to make it happen.
Thank you so very much, Aizaz Chaudhary, sir, former ambassador, to talk to us about Pakistan's development and its strong, healthy and long-lasting relationship with Azerbaijan in the context of the visit of Mohammad Shahbaz Shareef Saab, our Prime Minister, to Azerbaijan. That was a very successful visit with many MOUs and agreements signed, and of course many will be in the pipeline. Of course, the most important of that being the LNG and the LPG cargo ships that will be arriving, one ship a month to Pakistan to cater to Pakistan's energy vows. Let's come to our second main story today, and that concerns in illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. We know about the brutalities that are happening in the Hell Valley, but before we go to the Hell Valley, we will continue our discussion on Pakistan and Azerbaijan as well. We have another context to the visit of Mr. Mohammad Shahbaz Shareef to Azerbaijan, and that is in the context of economy, whether it be the preferential trade agreement, whether it be other important agreements in the realm of economy and commerce, whether it be the MOUs that were signed between Mr. Naveed Qamar, our Minister for Commerce, and the Azerbaijani counterpart. Many important MOUs in the realm of trade and commerce were signed, and there is a desire from both the countries to continue working and strengthen each other's economy together. To talk more about that context, we've been joined by Muhammad Shaaf Najeeb. He's an economist. Shaaf, thank you very much to have joined us. It's also always a pleasure to talk to you about economy specifically, but here we are going to talk about Pakistan and Azerbaijan and how both countries can benefit from each other's economic expertise. How do you see this deal on LPG and LNG and the cargo ships that will be arriving? How important are these for Pakistan in the current scenario?
Thank you, Omar, for having me at the show. Always a pleasure to talk to you as well. So I think it's very good that Pakistan has started in the recent years turning towards the Central Asian countries, and Azerbaijan is one of those countries where we have developed very cordial relationships, and now we have to make sure that we turn these good diplomatic relations into good economic cooperation as well. And as we have seen over the last 1 year, particularly, the energy crisis in Pakistan worsened, particularly also due to the increase in the prices of LNG worldwide, and how due to that we were unable to buy any LNG spot cargoes last year. And that contributed a lot to our energy worries. And we can see that in our recent inflation as well, which is driven primarily from energy and food prices. So, in that context, I think the agreement between Pakistan and Azerbaijan, where Pakistan will be procuring LNG cargoes from Azerbaijan, which the minister has stated that would be at a cheaper rate than the usual market rate. So I think even if that also does happen, that is going to be a very positive message for the overall country, overall inflation situation in the country as well, and also to the general markets about the positive outlook that we have been talking about, that what we need going into the next financial year. So I think it's a very timely visit, and I really hope that we're able to take maximum economic benefits of this visit and our relations with Azerbaijan as well.
Shaaf, when it comes to the energy sector, there is an agreement that has been signed between the Pakistan State Oil and SOCAR, which is the equivalent of the PSO in Azerbaijan. In your point of view, how important is this collaboration as well to kickstart a more robust investment or collaboration in the energy sector? Do you feel more needs to be done, and do you feel we need to work in more sectors as far as trade is concerned in order to help each other?
Well, of course, there is always room to do more, but I think it is a very good starting point between Pakistan and Azerbaijan, particularly for Pakistan's energy sector as well, because one of the major issues that we faced was the supply for our energy sector. And I think if we are able to materialize the agreement that has happened, and recently the ECC has approved procuring two LNG cargoes from Azerbaijan, and the Minister for Petroleum has stated that we will continue buying from them every month in the coming year. So I think that will establish a good supply chain of LNG towards Pakistan, and we would be able to, have the required inputs for our energy sector. And as the minister said, that it could be available at cheaper rates as well. So if that is possible as well, I think that would be a very positive push to our energy sector, and hence all the other industrial sector as well. But as I said, this is the starting point, and I think we really would like to expand our relations, expand our trade agreements as well, trading relations as well with Azerbaijan. And I think this could be our starting point of increasing our economic cooperation with the Central Asian states as well.
Shaaf, when it comes to economy or trade or mutual trade or a relationship in this field, a preferential trade agreement is extremely important. That is what both the sides have said, that they want to see it finalized by August this year. How can a PTA help both the countries to further diversify their trade cooperation?
Well, the professional trade agreement is something that goes a long way in easing the trade relations between two countries. But I would say that we have to be very careful on the kind of PTA that we sign. Because I think we have signed a lot of such trade agreements with other countries in the past as well, but we did not, you could say, we did not consider our local realities in a lot of those things. We made agreements for those things which we do not produce. So a lot of those agreements ended up increasing our imports significantly, but did not help us in boosting our exports. So I think in this PTA, which if could be finalized over the next 2 months, it's very important that we are able to establish a two-way trade where we don't just keep on importing from Azerbaijan, but I think where we are able to export to Azerbaijan as well. One announcement that I have come across was regarding removal of duty on rice exported from Pakistan
That is something that
in
the Azerbaijani
Azerbaijan. So,
president wanted since quite some time, and he has emphasized that when it comes to rice, the people in Azerbaijan should prefer Pakistani rice and it should be exempted from duty.
yes, so I think that is a very good positive note for Pakistan. And now the government in that aspect has done its job, that it has gotten us a relief from the Azerbaijan government. And now it's on the private sector, it's on our rice producers and rice exporters that they are able to brand and market their rice in a way that there is demand for Pakistan's rice in Azerbaijan. Because even if we have this concession, if we are not able to market our product successfully in Azerbaijan and create its demand, then we will not be able to gain the benefit of this step from the Azerbaijan government. So I think now the responsibility, particularly regarding rice exports, comes onto the rice exporters and producers, where they package and brand their product in a way that the Azerbaijan people demanded, and we take the benefit as a nation overall of this preferential treatment that they
Trade
have given us
agreement.
for our rice exports.
All right, finally, Shaaf, I'd like to understand how important could be or is Azerbaijan's role to expand Pakistan's trade avenues beyond Azerbaijan and in Azerbaijan.
Look, so you see, Pakistan's major trade, you could say, partners have been in the past been European Union or the West, particularly the United States of America. Recently, in the last couple of decades, we have shifted a lot towards China as well. But there are this entire market of the Central Asian states is something that is missing, despite Pakistan being a member of CAREC as well. So this could be a start where Pakistan shifts its diplomatic relations as well, diplomatic avenues, and it's not about you could say leaving our previous partner, but it's adding more partners, and I think that would allow us to expand our local productions as well to meet more greater external demand as well. So Azerbaijan, we must take it as a starting point towards developing economic, trade and diplomatic relations with the Central Asian region, which is very important and going to be very beneficial for Pakistan in the coming years.
I hope so, and I hope that countries like Azerbaijan and the way they have shown their affection, their hand of friendship towards our country, solidifies into a more robust economic partnership that is beneficial more for Pakistan as an export-oriented economy. Thank you so very much, Mohammad Shaaf, Najeeb, Economist, who have joined us, to have talked to us about the gamut of relationship that exists between Azerbaijan and Pakistan that has further been strengthened during the visit of our Prime Minister, Mr. Mohammad Shahbaz Shareef. Let's come to our second story, and that concerns Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, and our Foreign Office spokesperson statement as well as to how India is seizing the properties of Hurriyat leaders in the held valley. Not only is it denying them their rights, their basic human rights and their right to self-determination, but it is also now going towards tactics such as these. More in the following report.
In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Indian troops have made life difficult for the Kashmiri people, and human rights are violated there on a daily basis. Indian troops, in their fresh act of state terrorism, martyred 5 youth in Kupwara district. After the Indian unilateral actions of 5th of August 2019, the situation in the occupied territory has become extremely dire, where the basic rights of Kashmiris have been usurped. In order to further tighten the noose around the Kashmiris striving for their UN-recognized right to self-determination, Modi regime is confiscating properties of Kashmiri activists and human rights defenders. India's National Investigation Agency and the State Investigation Agency has moved aggressively to seize immovable properties of several Kashmiri activists. Pakistan has strongly condemned India's recent moves and urged it to end dispossessing the political leaders and human rights defenders of their rightful properties. Foreign Office emphasized that Kashmiris are the rightful heirs to their own land. It is unfortunate that non-Kashmiris are being encouraged to buy land and property in the disputed territory, while the properties of Kashmiris are being confiscated and destroyed. Hindutva extremism is turbocharging India's repression in occupied Jammu and Kashmir to impose its colonial annexation, but it failed to break resolve of Kashmiris yearning for freedom from Indian clutches.
Musaib Manzoor, he is a legal forum for Kashmir, belongs to that. Musaib Manzoor joins us online. Thank you very much, Musaib, to have joined us. I'd like to understand, way back in August of 2020, India had introduced new amendments for the country's land laws for Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir that had enabled any citizen that had Indian nationality to buy land in the Indian held valley. Do you feel this latest attempt to seize immovable properties of Kashmiri Hurriyat leaders in the Indian held valley also part of this design of the BJP government?
Hello, am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are, Musaib.
Yes, it's definitely part of a systematic agenda which has been undertaken by the Modi-led central government in 2014. We can see that after ousting the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir as well Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Mehbooba Mufti, after ousting their government from power, we have seen that BJP systematically carried out demographic change in the Indian occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Apart from the demographic change, Indian authorities, the center-led authorities also carried out the delimitation process of the electoral constituencies, whereby they want to bring settlers, the non-natives from India, from the mainland India, settle them in Kashmir, give them electoral rights, give them voting rights, and they also have this agenda that they want a Hindu chief minister for Kashmir, for the illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir for the first time since they have occupied the territory of Kashmir.
Will that happen? Will the Indian held valley have a Hindu chief minister? Should it happen?
It shouldn't happen, but there is a possibility, even if it's a bleak possibility, but there is definitely a possibility that whenever the upcoming elections will be held, there might be a chance that Kashmir will have for the first time a Hindu chief minister. You know how they have systematically been working on it. The BJP, it's secured almost all the seats. It's swept across the electoral constituencies in the last elections in the Jammu region. So we can see even in Kashmir, they have launched a few new political parties who are the forward front or who have relations with the Bharatiya Janata Party. So they want, even if they don't get the full majority or the 2/3 majority in the occupied territory, but they want that at least they have the coalition government with their supporters, with those who have similar agenda. But we know the resilient Kashmiris, they have been striving and fighting particularly for their rights to self-determination, and post-19 they have struggled and resisted for their right for the Article 370 and for the security of their land rights and the security of their electoral rights. Kashmiris are fighting for their rights, but we know India and the BJP, which is in power in the center, so they can, and there's even if it's a bleak chance, but there's a chance that there can be a first Hindu chief minister in the occupied territory.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that, but let's also talk about the laws, Musaib, that have become very pro-Hindu and less pro-Muslim or pro-Kashmiris. Let's talk about the right to get education, the right to get jobs, to buy property in the region. All of these are being now given to non-Kashmiris, non-residents. Do you feel that the occupying forces, that the BJP government will be successful to annex the land of the Kashmiris?
See, Kashmiris are resisting, but Kashmiris alone cannot win this war or win this battle. The battle of narratives, the battle of force against India alone. International community, they need to wake up. It's high time that the United Nations and European Union particularly, they come forward and force India to take back all the steps, all the illegal and unlawful and unilateral steps that India has been taking since 1947 and particularly since 2019. There is no right to education, there is no right to land ownership, even the non-natives, they are getting the more and more projects in Kashmir. They are getting right to vote. They are getting right to apply for jobs. They have got domicile. Around 4 million non-natives have already gotten their domicile, and 2.5 lakh non-natives have gotten their electoral rights. So Kashmiris are very skeptical about this. Particularly Pakistan needs to act upon and raise the ante, and then the international community needs to come forward. International community which claims to uphold the spirits of human rights. We have the International Covenant of Political Rights, ICCPR. We have ICCESR, which India is clearly violating. So the international community needs to come forward, and recently we have seen how India is trying to normalize and how it's projecting a facade of normalcy in Jammu and Kashmir.
We saw that in the G20 summit that they tried to hold in the Indian Hill Valley as well.
Conferences or sideline meetings of the organizations like G20. So international community definitely needs to up the ante and speak for the rights of the oppressed people.
You talk about the international setup, you talk about the important world bodies. We know the colonial setup that India is trying to put up in the Indian Hill Valley, not since now, but since decades. But this has gained momentum since Narendra Modi came to power. Why is the world silent on this? Why is the world not taking any kind of action or pressure tactic for India to reverse its actions, whether it be 370 35A, whether it be denying the people of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir their right to self-determination? It is enshrined in various United Nations resolutions, isn't it?
Yes, sir. So there are at least 18 UN Security Council resolutions in which it's enshrined that Kashmiris have every right to exercise their right to self-determination under the principle of self-determination. And even post 2019, there was an indoor meeting for Kashmir, but we can see that there has been some kind of bias, be it the geopolitical, geostrategic, or geoeconomic bias that the international community or the great powers have towards Kashmir. They want, particularly the US, we have seen since the rise of China, we have seen that the US government particularly, they have focused towards India. So the geopolitics of the region, it also, influences the relations of US and India, the relations between US and China, the relations between US and Pakistan. So Kashmiris are in the whirlwind of the geopolitics, but there's a hope. We have seen that international community rose for the rights of Ukrainian, and international community has also to some extent taken forward the case of Palestinians. So Kashmiris have the only Kashmiris the only immediate hope is Pakistan, the government of Pakistan, that they can only take up their case where Kashmiris don't have access. Kashmiris per se don't have access at the United Nations, but Pakistan does. Similarly, Kashmiris can only urge the international community to speak for their rights. Kashmiris cannot coerce the international community to speak for their rights. So it's immediately the duty of Pakistan and then the duty of Muslim countries, particularly the countries affiliated with OIC.
I think that's an important point. The Muslim world, the organizations that are of which the Muslim world is part of, like the OIC, need to be more proactive as far as issues such as that of the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir or the state of Palestine are concerned. You talked about Pakistan. I feel personally that Pakistan has been making a lot of very important and strong measures in order to highlight the Kashmir issue internationally and regionally. It has highlighted the Kashmir issue on every single forum, whether it be the United Nations, whether it be the SCO, whether it be the OIC. But Pakistan, of course, can only help the cause politically, morally and diplomatically, which is trying to do to its utmost level. We've got a robust ambassador in the United States of America, Mr. Musaib as well, who is also highlighting the Kashmir issue to as much of an extent as we can. But the point that you put forward regarding the Muslim world becomes even more important. the attempts that are being made, Musaib, as far as the Indian hegemonic designs towards Muslims, Kashmiris in the Indian held valley is concerned, is no hidden secret. Even the media, the international media, has been talking about it. Of late, we've had major international media publications openly talk about the way India is continuing its barbarities towards the Kashmiris there. When you talk of domicile laws, when we talk also of the delimitation report in 2022, which gives the 43 seats to Hindu majority region of Jammu and 47 to the Muslim majority Kashmir, and increases the total strength of seats to 90 from 83, but reduces the Kashmir representation by giving 6 seats to Jammu, adding only 1 to the Muslim majority area. What kind of implications do you feel decisions such as this delimitation law, such as the domicile laws, are going to have as far as the demographic balance in the Indian held valley is concerned? Do you feel the shift is going to come sooner than later?
So first, coming to the question of the providing domicile certificates and providing of electoral rights to the non-natives, it is definitely a threat to natives. India has officially launched its settler colonial program, settler colonial agenda post 2019 in the Indian occupied Jammu and Kashmir. They want to alter the demography and convert the Muslim majority into a minority. Kashmir is the only Muslim majority region considering India and the mainland. Kashmir is not part of India, but India is de facto ruling Kashmir. So this the central government of India, being led by BJP, it has a clear agenda, being part of RSS, that they want a pan-subcontinent Hindutva empire. So they are clear in their agenda. They have mentioned it in their successive election manifestos that they will remove or revoke the special status of Jammu and Kashmir and assimilate it within their mainland India. So they are working systematically, they are up the ante, and they are working on merging and assimilating the illegally occupied territory within their own mainland India. So then coming back to the international community, it is the duty of international community to look into the Kashmir issue, because not only it is the issue of human rights, but it is a colonial baggage. Considering the colonial institutions which were formed during the decolonization, the institutions like UN and other institutions, so it is an obligation upon them to resolve the baggage of colonization and get rid of Indian occupation in the illegally occupied territory. And it is pertinent and imminent to stop India from carrying out a genocide and ethnic cleansing of Muslims in the occupied territory, and also to stop immediately the India from perpetrating a settler colonial program in Jammu and Kashmir.
But Musaib, this is what they are going, and they are going at it with full force, whether it be, all these laws that we've talked about, whether it be the Citizenship Amendment Act, whether it be so many other actions, whether it be by all the barbarities that the police or the armed forces are continuing in the Indian held valley, whether it be the laws that the Indian government continues to, formulate again and again that deny the Kashmiris their right, their basic right to live as Kashmiris, to live in their lands, live in their houses. This is a continuous spate of deliberate attempts that are being made by the Indian government in order to deny the people, the genuine residents of the Indian held valley, their right to live as human beings, their right to live as Kashmiris, and their right to decide what they want to do in the land that they live in, that they call their own. Thank you very much, Musaib Manzoor, Legal Forum for Kashmir's representative, to have joined us and to have talked to us about this new attempt at denying the people of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir to live in the houses that belong to them, snatching the properties that belong to the people of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, whether it be the Hurriyat activists or others. New Delhi is flirting with revisionist history. They are continuing to martyr young Kashmiris in different areas of the Indian Hill Valley, the latest being 5 being martyred in Pulwama. And this is something that is going on, and we hear reports of that every day. I'd end with the fact that in 2022, Reporters Without Borders had placed India amongst the worst countries in terms of media freedom, ranking it 150th out of 180 countries. A lot of similarities between India and the Nazi Germany. I leave the rest to my viewers to decide where they feel and how they feel India is moving forward. Let's come to our last story, ladies and gentlemen, and that concerns, and we would like to end today's of course show on a positive note, on a very positive note. Now, the United States has honored a Pakistani officer, Zaheer Ahmed, with a prestigious award to recognize his tireless efforts to curb human trafficking. Now, Zaheer Ahmed is currently serving as Deputy Inspector General in Pakistan's police service. He has previously served as the Director of the Federal Investigative Agency's Anti-Human Smuggling Unit. He has been bestowed with the 2023 Trafficking in Persons Report Hero Award at a ceremony. The United States Secretary Anthony Blinken, the State Secretary Anthony Blinken, presented the award to 8 recipients that included Mr. Zaheer Ahmed as well. The Trafficking in Persons Report Heroes Award acknowledges the exceptional efforts of individuals like Zaheer Ahmed Saab, whose dedication and determination inspires so many others to act diligently, professionally, with utmost honesty and sincerity. Zaheer Ahmed Saab expressed his gratitude upon receiving the award and dedicated the recognition to all the colleagues he has worked with. He said, I quote, "This award is a testament to the resilience and the strength of teamwork. I am humbled and honored to receive this recognition and will continue to fight alongside my peers until human trafficking is eradicated from our world." A noble gesture indeed, and congratulations, Mr. Zaheer Ahmed. With that, we come to an end of today's newsroom. It's the end of the week. We'll see you inshallah on Monday with new story segments that pertain to us, you and Pakistan. Have a wonderful weekend. Allah Hafiz.